Welcome. It is my pleasure to introduce you to some exciting and innovative work taking place within the School of Public Policy and across the University of Maryland to achieve progress on the grand challenges facing the world today. As this past year has taught us, our increasingly globalized world drives a rising number of social, health, economic, and sustainability issues that cross borders and span jurisdictions. These challenges demand a workforce that can navigate complex and multidisciplinary public solutions, both locally and across the globe. A local to global ethos is at the heart of our approach within the School of Public Policy and is present throughout our mission of public service for the public good. As we celebrate the School of Public Policy's 40th anniversary this year, a new building is currently being erected to enhance our ability to serve that mission and our students in the center of the Maryland campus, just a few miles from the global hub of Washington, D.C. Today, speaking as both a dean and a public service practitioner, I'm pleased to share with you a brief snapshot, a few examples of the countless creative efforts taking place across campus to create local and global impact.
My research is mainly using interdisciplinary approach that encompasses engineering, science, policy, and economic analysis to look at the challenge from climate change as well as effective transitions into clean energy. Here, I specifically look at technologies such as distributed solar panels, battery storage, electric vehicles, energy efficiency. At Maryland, there are several cross-campus energy or climate initiatives. I think that's a platform which I found very helpful. And from that platform, I was able to meet people from urban planning, from mechanical engineers, from civil engineers, with whom I have been developing very close collaboration with. I focus my research areas in both the United States and China. The majority of my papers are published together with student co-authors. Maryland is a great place to study. It's a great platform for students to be able to be exposed to different disciplines. Most important advice is to have the interdisciplinary mindset. Working on energy, for example, working on energy economics or environmental economics, they need understanding of both behaviors, policies, economics, as well as the engineering and the science aspects of the problems.
How do we make robots learn faster? Now, it's a simple question, but why this question is important? Why do we want to make robots learn faster? Robots are being used everywhere, and natural disasters, I personally feel that is one place which we cannot control. We cannot control where there is going to be a volcanic eruption or where there is going to be a tsunami or something like that. But what we can do on our part is plan better to detect them before, or at least have some understanding that this is going to happen so we can plan. University of Maryland has a consortium of people who work in robotics. It's called Maryland Robotics Center, which is one of the biggest a consortium for robotics in the entire country. They have people from every discipline. I am personally in computer science, but they have people from mechanical engineering, electrical, and even biotechnology fields you can't even imagine that you will be collaborating with. It has been a truly remarkable learning experience for me just to be a part of that bigger organization and collaborate with people from there. Take advantage of the resources University of Maryland has to offer. Take time to meet other people at the university and see what interests you. That has helped me in making a bigger picture, I would say, where exactly my research fits into the real world.
Teaming up with the University of Maryland's Office of International Affairs and the Academy for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, we have launched an innovative one-credit course for spring 2021 to introduce first-year students to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. These 17 goals serve as a call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity. We are employing the UN goals and design thinking principles as a framework through which students are creating projects to address grand challenges. This provides them with an opportunity as early as their very first semester at Maryland to make contributions toward a more equitable and sustainable future for all. These students are also developing global skills by working virtually across cultures with peers from international partner institutions based in Mexico, China, and New Zealand, while participating in guest lectures with international experts. These are guest speakers who have played an integral role in the creation of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, or who are working to implement them as leaders of impactful organizations globally.
Some of the problems we face, especially at a global level, but often at a national level, require multiple perspectives in order to understand precisely the nature of the problem we're trying to address. Issues, say, in health policy or in environmental policy, require an understanding of the other. That, I think, is probably changing how we think about policy more generally. We go to Peru, where we look at the issue of forest conservation in the Amazon region of Madre de Dios. We go to Indonesia, the island of Bali, Sulawesi, Sumatra, and then the mega city of Jakarta. Just recently, former students in the Indonesia course put together a fundraiser for someone who's very near and dear to us, a rice farmer in Bali, to help support him and his family during COVID times. The students just jumped at that opportunity and wanted to help. And those are the kinds of students we have. They're driven to do this kind of work, and it shows up in many different kinds of ways. I think it's an essential part of the self-identity of many of our students. Much of their work is driven towards the public good. And that is what brings our students to public policy. There is a kind of idealism that they bring to their studies. It predates their studies. These courses often encourage them to think in really new and interesting directions. And I've seen this very concretely in terms of what they go on to do in their lives. Many of them are in positions that have a direct lineage to their experience in these courses.
The Global Classroom Initiative at the Office of International Affairs is project-based, cross-cultural, and virtual. It's a course that's taught in partnership with a university abroad. Students co-learn and co-work together throughout the semester to produce a meaningful project that typically or ideally connects to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. I was looking to create an experiential learning course for students in the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources. I wanted students to get hands-on experience creating extension education for farmers with partners in sub-Saharan Africa. Some of the projects that have come out of this class have included an agricultural radio hour that's now run by our Liberian students. We've done high school outreach. We've also helped support a chocolate processing company that was student created. That's the first national processing company for chocolate in the country of Liberia. Depending on your major, this kind of experience where you can work across these cultural lines, where you're problem solving, where you're addressing real issues, where you're having an impact on people's lives. It's a really important opportunity to have, and I am really grateful and proud that University of Maryland offers this initiative. A lot of youth have a pretty narrow idea of what agriculture is, and so it is definitely a goal of mine and my counter instructor to blow up that field and talk about it from the perspective of engineering, from business, from gender, from nutrition. And so I do work quite a bit across disciplines. Our goal at higher education institutions is to create a transformational learning space for students and employees to become global citizens who are capable of addressing the great challenges that face us today. I believe that only from a collaborative global mindset will we succeed in mitigating the effects of climate change, producing new adaptive food systems, winning the fight for racial and economic justice, achieving gender equality. These are collective problems and they will need to be collective solutions. I definitely believe in the interdisciplinary approach. And that's one of the reasons why I have really appreciated the Global Classroom Fellowship Program, because it's exposed me to my colleagues around the campus who have interpreted this model in really innovative frameworks.
Preparing Terps to be leaders and change agents for public good in an increasingly complex world means constantly pushing the envelope and fostering opportunities to work across disciplines and sectors toward innovative solutions. It means empowering students through project-based learning to have an impact locally and globally long before they graduate. Thank you for joining us today to recognize some of the remarkable work underway at the University of Maryland to create impact on the world's grand challenges.